All right, welcome. I hope you guys had a great weekend. You guys should know what special day it is, at least to me. It's of course Star Wars Day, because May the 4th be with you. I do have some little guys that someone ended up crocheting for me. This is Darth Vader. It's made up of some kind of little crochet thing. I don't really know how to make them. Here's one that's a little bit easier to see what it's made out of. You could say that kind of Baby Yoda. Looks like a Baby Yoda. Anyways, take some time to watch a Star Wars movie today, if you're into it. If not, that's fine. What we're going to be working on this week is going to be polygon. So, shapes, areas, and perimeters, and just everything about shapes. So today we got a target. I can find the area of polygon using the appropriate formula. So of course, there's a formula for each polygon. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So we have polygon. So we got squares. Well, we know that the area equals this side squared. That's what the S would be. So the side squared. All right. So we got 7. And if this is a square, this would be 7 times 7. So area is 7 squared. So area would be 49 centimeters squared. Remember to put the squared down. All right, with a rectangle, we got a little bit different formula, but you guys should have that one kind of in your head. You guys have learned this in probably 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. So area, length of one side times the length of another side, or the width. So we got 6 times 2.5, and that would of course equal 15 millimeters squared. All right, let's take a look at another one. So this one, we have a parallelogram, which is area equals base times height. So this one, we do a base. I'm going to use a little drawing. So we got a base here, and we're going to times it by a height. We don't really need the 10. That doesn't really mean anything to us. Maybe why not? Wouldn't that be helpful? Well, look at it this way. If I draw a line straight down, it's supposed to be a straight line, and then I draw a line over here, straight up. If I take this section and cut it out and put it over here, doesn't that make it a square now? So a square would just be length times width. Or in this case, we call it base times height. So if we do base times height, 8 times 9, area in there is 72 feet squared. Don't forget the squared. All right, this one. Now this one kind of turns sideways. It looks like it turns sideways. That makes it a little trickier. It's still doing the height, still doing the width, and you're just going to do 8.2 times 3.3. Remember, this part, of course, if I cut this out here, and then I cut it out here, I can put this little section over here, which makes it a rectangle. So that's why that works like that. All right, let's move on to the next one. Oh, what's our answer? Our answer is 27.06 inches squared. All right, let's do this one. So we have our area equals 1/2 base times height. All right, so this is triangles. And we have area equal 1/2 times base, which is 5.1. And then we have it times 4, which is a height. That 7 doesn't really matter. We don't really need to learn a 7. Yeah, this is a triangle, so that's how you do it with that. And so our answer would be 10.2 yards squared. All right, look at this one. So you do. Let's see, what do you think you're going to get? Well, might be able to do this one in your head, actually. Are you going to use the 15? Go ahead and pause it if you want to see it and figure it out. All right. Well, if I do 10 times 12, that's 120. Now I gotta do it times 1/2. Well, half of 120 would be 60. So our answer would be 60 meters squared. Okay, now we got a trapezoid. So a trapezoid is area equals 1/2 times the height times of two bases added together. That's base 1, base 2. Now I'm going to take my area. I'll show you what I'm in here. And that would be, so if I take my area here, 1/2 times my height, well, you know the height is 7, that's easy. Now what about the B1 and B2? Where are we getting that from? Well, here's one base, and base 1, and here's base 2. Why are we calling them base 1, base 2? Well, because they're different length. Different length. And you always want to do it when they're parallel to each other. So if they gave me the height of this one being 7, and then they said this one is, say, 9, I wouldn't want to use the same one because they're not parallel. This line's not parallel to this one. I want to do the bases of the two ones that are parallel to each other. That would be 10 plus 12. And when I do that, I should get, what do I get? 77. Now this one, you want to make sure you add these two together before you multiply it out. Now multiplying by the 7 by 1/2, you can do that first if you want, and then times it by, what would be 22. Or you can do 22 times 7, and you get 144. And then you take half of that and you get 77. There's a couple ways you can do it. Just make sure you don't do 7 times 10 and then forget to add it. Or then you don't do 7 times 10, which is 70 plus 12. That would not be the right one. I guess you could do 7 times 10 and then 7 times 12. That would work, but that's going to be a big number. Actually, that won't work either, I don't believe. Anyways, let's move on. Just figure. All right, so we have, that's weird. Okay. 1/2 times 9 times 8 plus 10. So I took my base 1, my base 2, add them together, times it by 9, and then take half of that. And I get 81 millimeters squared. Anyway, I'm hoping that helped. Still trying to figure out whether that would work. I don't believe that would work. 7 times 10 is 70. 7 times 12, 84. I'm figuring out in my head. If you add those two together and take half of it, maybe it would work. I think it would. All right. Let's move on to the next one, I guess. Okay, so what do we have here? Well, first I need to go ahead and clear my drawing. And what is the total area? So we have we got a rectangle, I got a triangle, and I want to find out what my area is. Well, first I'd want to take the, when I do the drawing, I'd want to do 6 times 11, which would give me 66. And then I'd want to take, how much is this? what's the distance from here to here? Well, if this is 11 and that's 15, then I'd say, okay, well, that'd be 4. And my height over here is still going to be 6. So times 6, equal 24. And then I want to go ahead and add that to 66. So if I do that, 24, that'd be 10, 8, 9. Let's see if I did that right. Length times width, so we're going to do 11 times 6, 66. Then triangle, 1/2 times the base times height. There we go, I forgot to do the 1/2. That's okay, it's okay to make mistakes. So it's not going to be 24. That's good erasure. So before I go any further, the mistake I made, I didn't times this by 1/2. So that'd be 12. 6 plus 2 is 8. 6 plus, I'm not going to add that. 6 plus 1, 7. And hey, if you were able to figure out that mistake that I made, good for you. Then 66 plus 12 is 78 millimeters squared. All right. In case you're wondering, well, what about the 24? Well, that would have been true if my shape was just like this. But if it's like that, there wouldn't be any need to actually worry about the triangle. I would have just done 15 times 6 and we've got the length of the entire rectangle. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, this one is kind of, see whether you can do it on your own. So I'll go ahead and pause the video, see if you can figure it out on your own, and then I'll show you the answer in a moment. All right, hopefully you guys paused the video. If you didn't, then this is for you guys to be able to learn. The way that I did this, I did 15 times 7 first. If I did 15 times 7, I'm going to go ahead and cheat and use my calculator on my phone on that one. 15 times 7, 105. Now that would be if, now I just pretty much found the area of this entire rectangle. So now I don't want this. How do I get rid of this? Well, I did, I know that this is 7, and that's 8. If I do 7 times 8, that would be 56. But that would give me the entire rectangle here. I want to do half of that. So if I do 56 divided by 2, I get 28. Or times it by 1/2. So I get 28. All right, now I just want to take that 28 and subtract it from my 105. That's saying basically this is 14, and this is 14. The area, this whole area on here is 14, and this whole area on here is 14. If I subtract it from that, 15, I can do it that way. 15 minus 8 is 7. That'd be 9. Man. 9 minus 2, 7. Okay, I did it right. I just double checked on my calculator. So 77. You still got 77 in the entire area of the square and 2 triangles combined. All right, well, yep, 77. All right, so for tonight, I want you to do all the problems on the worksheet that's in your Google Slides. Yeah, the Google Slides. It's in your Google Classroom, and it's got the little input formula that you type it in, just like we did from last week. There's no quizzy from in the Google Classroom. I don't have a quizzy. Remember, this is Friday for all the schools throughout the Avondale district. So we're sharing our work with each other. So what does that look like? This little one. So find the area of each polygon, make sure you use the right formula. So I got it figured to type into the box here. So you find out what the area of this one is and put it in there. If you want to show your work, you can. I'm just looking for whether you put the what the area is for each one. This one you might have to do 2, find the area of the triangle, find the area of this one, and then you can figure it out. All right. Well, I guess that will be all for now. And you check your assignment in here. The assignment from Friday, you did not have to turn in. Just make sure you do the one for today. I'm going to be putting some more Khan Academy assignments up. So go ahead and take a look at that, probably a little bit later today. All right. Well, have a great day, and thank you for watching.